it, and so much is going on, you can't even imagine. Millions of things are happening every minute of every second of every day that are all so important and wonderful because America, wrong, falsitude right there. Very little happening every day that's good. A lot of happening that's bad. Mostly because the idiot in the White House is a problem. But there's other reasons, too, for the failure of society at the moment, including a denial of climate change, which is a real problem, and including people being really selfish, which is a real problem. And so I thought about making a song the other day. I did make a song, as a matter of fact. This was it. Not very long. So it starts. No, you're not very wrong. You're just going along for your own good. No, you're not very wrong. You're just going along for your own good. Just going along for your own good. No, you're not very wrong. You're just going along, just going along for your own good. No, you're not really wrong. You're just going along for your own good. Yeah, so I wrote that tune. Made. I don't even know how you say it because I don't feel like it's really writing, I feel like it's composing or compositing music when you're using these jams that I'm using for making music. And some great news is that I'm put in a DMCA challenge on one of my videos, which was about appreciating Dorothy Comminger. And they said, okay, you can. It has all these Citizen Kane clips in it. And then I'm talking about Dorothy Comminger, who stood up for her beliefs, And her husband, the weak-ass piece of shit, folded, and she got blacklisted by HUAC and ended up dying drunk and alone. Well, not alone, but miserable in a sad place. Dorothy Comminger, who plays Citizen Kane's second wife, the Songbird. The would-be songbird, the one he tries to make into a songbird. You know, he was 25 years old when he wrote, directed, and produced that. That's pretty amazing to me. 25 years old. When I was 25, let's see, where was I when I was 25? What year is it? 52, 25? Let me see if I can figure this out real quick. When I was 25, it would have been 87 plus 5, 92, 1992, and I would have been, the beginning of that year, I would have been in China. Well, India, and then Thailand, and then China. And then back to DC. Took my GRE that year. Don't know why I did that. Oh, I know why. My mom made me do it. What had I done by the time I was 25? I'd traveled all over Asia. I'd been around the world a couple of times. 3 times at that point. So it's 4 times since I was 25. That makes sense, yeah. So we're making these files, which is exciting and fun, from the video that I pulled down. And I think we have the Wondershare content finished. I'm not sure if we do or not. But it doesn't appear ever. Whenever I try to get it to appear, it doesn't appear. Which is kind of maddening. Yeah, see, for some reason, that file doesn't work. And I don't know why. So we have to figure out how to get that file to work. Dude, there's so much weird shit going on here. So wait, now where's the, okay, so here's the DVD 2K1. So yeah, what we've been doing is working on .dob files. How do you make a .dob file do its thing is what we've been working on, okay? We do not know the answer. Because so far it has not really been successful. It has been anti-successful, counter-successful, die-successful, bi-successful, and penta-successful. None of those things is true. There was so much stuff I was going to do when I came in here today, and I'm just not feeling well. So the problem is with a fever, it's a little bit harder to produce. I am really psyched about the Citizen Kane Dorothy Comminger bit.
If I owned a newspaper and I didn't like the way somebody was doing things, some politician. He's got an idea that wants to keep me alive. A lot of those.
I'm trying to find the end of this so you can learn about Dorothy Comminger.
To introduce. It's funny looking at this right now after having watched Storage Wars. That binge manner that I did just because I was for some reason needing to, I don't know what I was needing to see there.
Throw that junk.
Throw the junk in the fire. Hey, what's that you just threw in the fire? Close up. Unaffected. Black and white.
trying to figure out how to make this work. Okay, so that was the movie.
Most of the principal actors in Citizen Kane are new to motion pictures, and Mercury Theater is proud to introduce them. Joseph Cotten.
What you nowadays call a stooge, huh?
Everything was his idea. That might be me. I've got his truck open.
Comminger is how you pronounce it. And so we've been talking about that performance here because I learned some things about her. I'm just going to read those. She was discovered by Charles Chaplin.
Okay, so this is about Dorothy Comminger, who plays that intense role. What a role. But check this out while I'm doing this over here.
She was discovered by Charles Chaplin while performing with the Carmel Little Theater in Monterey County. He was enchanted by her, and his praise won her a Hollywood contract. That contract was unaccountably dropped after just 3 months without even a screen test. At Warner Brothers, she was utilized purely for publicity stills and as a clothes model. She would have none of it. Having already acquired a reputation as a firebrand, she walked out on the studio, having been relegated to what amounted to nothing more than a crowd scene. She was determined to be appreciated for her acting ability, not to be wasted as an extra. Columbia signed her on. However, between 1938 and 1940, most of her roles, in which she was often billed as Linda Winters, still turned out to be uncredited bits and walk-ons. There were also westerns and Three Stooges comedy shorts, but certainly nothing of substance. Her turning point came courtesy of an introduction to Orson Welles at a party. Welles came to think of her as ideal casting for the part of brash, feather-brained, would-be diva Susan Alexander Kane. Someone else has written this. A successful screen test followed, and then came the role that brought Dorothy Comminger at once fame and ruin. Soon after its release, the wrath of Citizen Hearst descended upon everyone associated with the picture. In particular, he never forgave Dorothy for playing a part so obviously and effectively modeled on his mistress. Dorothy Comminger was already well known for her leftist sympathies. Her father had been a high-profile unionist, and her first husband had died fighting Franco's fascists in the Spanish Civil War. The newspaper magnate had ample ammunition to orchestrate a nationwide smear campaign, using prominent columnists Hedda Hopper and Walter Winchell to branding her a subversive, a member of the Communist Party. Though devoid of substantiating evidence, the spurious allegations stuck. Dorothy had associations and friends in Hollywood, not to mention her husband, the screenwriter Richard Collins, who had been an active party member of the Hollywood chapter in the 1930s of the Communist Party we're talking about, who had communist affiliations or were party members. What a horrible time in America. She had all Civil War. The newspaper magnate had ample ammunition to orchestrate a nationwide smear campaign, using prominent columnists Hedda Hopper and Walter Winchell to branding her a subversive, a member of the Communist Party. Though devoid of substantiating evidence, the spurious allegations stuck. Dorothy had associations and friends in Hollywood, not to mention her husband, the screenwriter Richard Collins, who had been an active party member of the Hollywood chapter in the 1930s of the Communist Party we're talking about, who had communist affiliations or were party members. What a horrible time in America. She had also made enemies by following in her father's footsteps, canvassing for and supporting civil rights causes and union solidarity. Refusing to cooperate with the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC, made her an unfriendly witness. Not only was she blacklisted in Hollywood, but her phone was tapped, her mail opened, and her home ransacked. Collins, by now Dorothy's ex, did not have the same moral fortitude. To escape blacklisting, Richard Collins recanted his previous testimony and fully cooperated with HUAC's inquisitors.
Did you hear that?
Dorothy's career effectively ended.
So, she played this one part. Her parents were strong-willed socialists who were trying to make the United States a better place. She played this one part. She had difficulty getting jobs because she herself was a strong-willed person who wanted good parts and not weird, dumb parts. She was being used for her beauty and rejected that. A woman who stood up for herself in Hollywood in the 1930s, late 30s we're talking about. And then She plays one role. The role that is loosely, you could say, based on William Randolph Hearst's second wife. Mistress. His mistress who becomes his second wife. That one role gets her blacklisted for life. And all she has to do, not all, but if she had recanted, it could have helped her. Her husband recanted, so he could keep working in Hollywood. She refused to recant.
In 1951, her acting swan song in films being a small part in the indifferent drama of teenage angst, The Big Night, 1951, 10 years after this performance we just watched. Her personal life, meanwhile, continued to spiral out of control. She became an alcoholic in October of 1952. She was arrested by Vice Squad officers on a solicitation charge. Another likely frame-up.
You hear that? She was arrested on solicitation charges. Another likely frame-up.
Payback for her red affiliations. Having lost custody of her children, she agreed to have the charges against her dropped in exchange for being committed to the Camarillo is how they pronounce it out there, State Mental Hospital. There she spent 2 years, not a little time, as she had promised in the court, undergoing treatment. 2 years. Not much is known of her final years, except that she spent most of it in seclusion, married to a postman in Connecticut in a home with 2 dogs and 10 cats. She died in December of 1971 of pulmonary disease, likely the result of long-term alcohol abuse, at the age of 58.
Wow.
Dorothy Comminger, born August 24th, 1913 in Los Angeles, California. Died December 30th, 1971 in Stonington, Connecticut. Margaret Louise.
Margaret Louise.
I used to live in Montreal. I lived in...
Dude, shut up. You know what I hate? I hate autoplay. Autoplay is the worst thing that ever... How do I set the settings so autoplay never comes on? That's what I want to know. Because it's ridiculous. Autoplay, notifications, playback and performance. To this browser only. Okay, well, that's fine. How come I can never find anything quickly anymore? I think it's because I'm tired. I just want autoplay to work, that's all I want. I mean, not to work. Because it suggests all kinds of things that I have no interest in. You know? If I change this, does that change the watermark? I don't think so. The watermark stays the same, I believe. Well, maybe not. I'm not going to mess with that right now. Alright, so we're trying to edit that footage. It's going kind of slowly. But there's some amazing things on it, including footage of me when I was, doing radio in LA. Footage of my son and his mom and half a dozen other people back, decades ago. There's all kinds of stuff on here. But one of the coolest things is one of the last pictures I ever took of the World Trade Centers is on here.
Some misconception. The projects do not involve volunteers at the exclusion.
See, look.
Environmental nonprofits can be forced to pay volunteers, threatening many existing restoration projects. ABFA's ATX has more.
Restoration programs are
That's the,
nonprofits
see that? That's the World Trade Centers right there. From my roof. with the Brooklyn Bridge in the foreground.
Pursue the matter legislatively if the governor doesn't. In response to the oversight, Assembly.
But the video is not correct, see? The video should be this. There's all kinds of things on here that I don't understand. But yeah, this is pretty funny. See, this footage is messed up. This is that footage of my dad and my son. So in this footage, this is like 13 years old. My son is 2. There's his mother. There he is. So that's cool. Cool footage of my son. Weird footage of the internet. I mean, of the videotape. That's usable for stuff. I mean, I can use that in editing different things, I think. But it's weird because I don't remember this footage, if I'm honest with you. This is like from a long time ago. And I don't really fully remember it. But it's cool. I wish I could figure out how to get... This is very confusing. Look, there's me with a big old beard.
Alrighty, Zimmerman with the headlines for Free Speech Radio News. President Joe. President Joe.
Man, these speakers are horrible. That's the problem. I may have to edit this using breaks jeans. Do you know what breaks jeans are? I don't think you do. I mean, I'm not against you not knowing what breaks jeans are. Dude, look at this furious beard I had. Look at the size of this crazy beard I had. Look at that. Got some beardage. So the problem is the footage is flawed. Okay, so we're going to pause this. We're going to save it. Save project as big edit file. That's what we'll call it, because it's going to be the one we're going to file everything and edit everything with. Alright, I've done a half an hour of nothing here, guys. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to be the one who does all the poor quality life expectations, but you know, I also found this incredible footage of me taking a giant bong rip back in 2005. Part of me wants to make that into a file. Here I can at least hear the level. Dude, it's not very... Oh, it's raining in LA too. Alright, well this isn't very interesting to you guys, I'm sure, so we're going to stop this broadcast at a few minutes, in a few minutes here. It'll be right at the bottom of the hour, so it's a half-hour program. I mean, bottom of the hour, you know what I mean? It's, can't even hear anything on this thing. There's like no audio on this thing. It could be that these are dead. Alright, let's assume that's what it is. Because I can hear it a little bit out here. Charge. I want that to charge. save the file, save the project. And then we take them out and we save them as different things. All right, we're at 30 minutes.